Hola, this is Yvette. Thanks for joining me for this watercolor painting tutorial. In today's video, I will share with you all how I paint this simple fall painting. This is a real-time step-by-step tutorial, so if you have a question, please leave your question in the comment section and I will be answering you as soon as possible. Thank you, and let's dive in. So this is our sample of the painting that we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to be sharing the colors. So for my palette today, I'm going to be working just with cold colors. Remember to have 2 glasses of water, one to clean your brushes and another one to add clean water into the palette. So the first color I have here is a light blue or cerulean blue. Let me show you. This is cerulean blue. And also I'm going to be adding a little bit of my phthalo blue. So I'm going to add a little bit of phthalo blue here. I am using a ceramic palette. So let's add a little bit of the phthalo blue. So these 2 colors are going to be for the pumpkin. Then for the roses, let me clean my brush. I have 2 colors. The first color is going to be a Naples yellow. Let me just clean this part. And add some sample. Remember, each time that you use a different color, you need to change, you need to clean your brush, okay? So I'm just cleaning my brush. I don't want to have blue. So I want to grab a little bit of the Naples yellow for the roses. And the second color that I use, nickel quinacridone gold. I'm going to put it here aside. It's a type of like an orange, but more like copper. I want to say a little bit of copper. Okay, so for the leaves, I'm going to be using my Hooker's green. I'm going to put it in front of this green. And clean my brush. This is like a avocado olive green. And with this color, you can mix the light blue to create these different tones. And also, I add some of the burnt umber and the edges of the leaves. Let me just add a little bit. I have here my burnt umber. Okay. Then for the purple flowers and these little, it can be, I don't know, flowers, or it can be even grapes, but they are more like a flowers. I use my purple that is dioxazine purple here. And remember, more water we add into the color is lighter. The tone is lighter. Less water, the tone is going to be darker. Okay, so for the white areas like this and this part, I'm going to be using my white wash. Okay, and this is a color palette that I will be using. And for the brushes, I'm going to be using Princeton, and I have this number 12. Then I have the one that I was using before is a number 6. And we have a tiny one that is number 0. So just these 3 brushes, okay? So I'm going to move my painting, and I'm going to be sketching the pumpkin and give some areas where the flowers are going to be. Okay, I have here my paper that is an Arches cold press 300 grams. Totally recommend you that paper, this paper, because it is a cold press, so it keeps the paper with a lot of moist to keep working with the colors. Okay, so Let me just move the one that I'm not going to be using, and to put all the colors in case that I will need them. Okay, so let's start by sketching. This is an HB mechanical pencil, and what I'm going to be doing is always whatever you are like drawing, it's better to have less white space in the bottom and more space in the top. So my line where everything is going to be happen, my horizon line is going to be here. Okay, then I'm going to place how I'll, in the middle, align how tall I want my pumpkin. So, and I want to have the same side, like the same. It's going to be more here. So this is my line. It's going to be dividing the pumpkin. Then I'm going to trace an oval, and from the oval I'm going to be working the pumpkin. Okay, so I'm going to start like adding the slice of the pumpkins, the pumpkin, this part. Okay, so I'm going to start with the one that is in the middle. And then I'm going to add better, like thicker line here. And I want to have another one here. So I'm going to move a little bit this. So I have my enable eraser. To erase the extra lines that I'm not going to be using now. Then here we have a stem. And have fun with the stem. Give some movement to the stem. From this part to the top here is thicker and then thinner. Something like this. Then I'm going to place the circles where the roses are going to be. So my first rose is going to be here. And then behind I want to have part of a row, another rose. And I was thinking that I want to add this flower in the front, not in the background. So here we have another flower that is going to be the same tone as the roses, but with a little touch of my burnt umber. And then I have here another flower that is the purple one. Okay, so I'm going to erase the extra lines. For the rose, it's more like a freehand at the moment. I'm going to be painting it. I don't need to trace it. So that's why I want to make these lines soft. Because whatever the water, all your pencil is going to stay behind the watercolor. So if you paint something that has pencil, later on you're not going to be able to erase it. That's why it's important to have a very soft lines. So I'm going to trace this flower. erase the extra lines. Okay, so now let's add some of the leaves that we're going to be painting. Here we have one stem, and I'm going to just place very soft the lines of the leaves. Then we have another stem here with more leaves. Okay. So here we have like a cluster of flower that is going to be as well more freehand, so I'm not going to be tracing it now, but here we have more leaves. Okay, here let's paint this one. We have another one here. So in this case, you can use a white mask to protect the flowers and the leaves and start painting the pumpkin, or you can go around. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I have here more leaves. And this one is going to be behind the pumpkin, so I'm not worried for that. And let's add another one here. So there are more leaves, but they are tiny. And what I like to do is to finish as much as I can the painting the roses, the pumpkin, and the big leaves. And at the end, I like to add little tiny leaves. Okay, so this is the main idea. I'm going to erase this line. And now I'm going to soft everything with my eraser. So I'm going to be working wet with wet to make it easier. And the wet with wet with the pumpkin, and the roses are going to be dry paper with wet. And you will see these two, okay, as well. So let me just erase better these lines. And I'm going to start by painting the pumpkin. Okay, so for that I'm going to be using my big brush, that is the number 12. I'm going to just check that it's clean, that I don't have an extra color. Okay, I'm going to add clean water, and I'm going to, oh, here I can see a line, this line. So I'm going to start by applying clean water. And here I'm going to go around the leaf. So when everything is wet, and you can use the light of your lamp to be sure that it's wet, I'm going to grab a little bit of first light blue, the cerulean blue. And with the tip of the bristles, I'm going around the leaves, very careful. I'm going to clean my brush, take out the excess of the water, and just soft the lines here. Then, before it's drying, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to grab a little bit of my phthalo blue, and I'm going to go with the tip of my bristles, the edge of the slide. And the bottom as well, and here. I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm going to paint now the next slide. So remember, clean your brush very well. And this time I'm going to be wetting, but I'm going to leave a line with no water in between these two slides. Here we have a leaf, so I need to go around. Here we have the rose. So, cerulean blue. I'm going to clean the excess because I want to have a very light blue here. Again, cerulean blue. And I need to be careful, do not touch the edge because it's still wet and I don't want them to be mixed. Okay, clean my brush and phthalo blue. Clean the excess of the paint. Just revisit these lines. Oops, too close. Clean my brush. Here is what I told you. If you go too close, then the paint is going to start mixing. So I'm going to be like cleaning my brush and just swapping here because we don't want to create the broccoli effect in this part. Okay, so I'm going to clean my brush again and with clean water I'm going to paint the last, I call it like a slice. And again, I'm going to leave a line dry because I want to have this separation between the slice. And here I can correct it later, so I'm not worried for that. In this part I'm going to blend the two colors. Cerulean blue. Clean water. And this part. Cerulean blue. And with the tip of my brush, the phthalo blue. And I'm going to leave it alone. And let's paint the other ones. So I'm going to wet it. Here we have the rose, a flower, so we need to be just careful to go around. Around the leaf. And I'm going to leave again a white line dry. Everything is wet. Cerulean blue. With the tip of my bristles, I'm going all around. Just want to be sure that it's a light blue. And I'm controlling the amount of paint with a little piece of napkin. Now, dark blue. I always like to have more like a darker color close to the stem. Going to clean the excess of the paint and just move a little bit of paint in the middle. Here, remember we want to have like light blue, so I'm just swapping the color. Okay, let me clean my brush, and we have another line to work with. Clean water. Here we have the flower. Cerulean blue. And the phthalo blue. Okay, so this is our pumpkin. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drying this part to start working the flowers. The first rose, that is this one, and it's going to be dry with wet. So it's about doing like a round. I call it like number 6 and number 6 and 6. You will see it. So let me just first to clean my brush. I'm going to be using my 12 round again. Here I have my Naples color, the green, the yellow one. Just be sure that I don't have blue. There you go. So I'm going to start by adding, this is the center, so number like a C and then like a 6. And from here I'm going to start adding more petals in the shape of Cs. And the idea is that we need to be like opening the side of the Cs when you're going to be going outside. Farther the center, the petals are larger. More water. And here I need to remember to paint all this part. And if you see the shapes, the largest petals, their shapes are like a M and C's. So it's very important when we're painting roses to leave white areas like this. Okay, before it's dry, I'm going to grab a little bit of the nickel and I'm going to start adding this color here and there. And I'm not worried about the tone because as soon as it's dry, we're going to lose between 30 and 40% of the color. So okay, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to paint this one. Clean water, Naples yellow again. The center is going to be more like here. So with the tip, I'm going to start doing like doodling. And in this case, I don't care if they mix in this part. Actually, if that happens, it looks nice. Okay, so now the orange, the nickel, with the tip. And remember to leave some white areas, okay? So clean my brush, I'm going to leave this alone. And we're going to be painting this. So we're going to be using again the Maples yellow. The center is going to be here, so the first flower is going to be here. We need to erase better this part. So let me just use We need to erase better. It's too heavy, these lines, before the watercolor get into the paper. Okay, let's start again. Maple yellow in the first petal. I'm going to be using again the nickel color and a little bit of my burnt umber in the bottom, in the top. Okay, clean my brush and the next leaf, the next petal. The next one. A little bit of water. Some nickel. And some brown. Next petal. And brown. Okay, so this flower, we need to wait this to get dry. And now I'm going to paint the purple one. So I clean my brush. I'm going to wet all the petal with the light purple. Sorry, and then with the darker purple, I'm going to tap the beginning of the petal and at the end of the petal. Then I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to drag the colors like this. Okay, again, clean the brush, light purple. I don't want to touch these petals, so I'm gonna go very close but leaving a dry line. Darker purple to clean. I'm going to clean the brush and move the colors. Keep working with the next petal. Clean my brush. Light purple again. This is the last petal. Cleaning the excess. We're going to leave it alone. Now we're going to start painting some of the leaves. So I have here my light Hooker's green. And I'm going to grab a little bit of the cerulean blue. I'm going to leave it alone. Let's keep moving with this green. Careful here, do not touch the color. And a little bit of the cerulean blue. We want to have different colors of the leaves. And cerulean blue. Here with my small brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of the Hooker's green, but with less water. And I'm going to leave it alone. So let's keep painting leaves with light. Always our Hooker's green is going to be the base, and we're going to be mixing with different tones. Okay, here we have a bunch of little tiny leaves, so let's do it. So now I'm going to grab a little bit of the brown. And I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to keep working with the Hooker's green. Here we need to be careful, do not touch the petal and the brown. I'm going to use my thin brush again with the Hooker's green, and I'm going to connect the leaves. Okay, so let's keep moving. We have more leaves here. This time we can mix it with another, maybe we can use one of these two colors. So let's paint. Be careful, do not touch what is wet. And I'm going to grab a little bit of the quinacridone. again, Hawker's green. And it's okay to touch the tip of the lips. Actually, you want the Hawker's green to go inside the lips, okay? So again, the Hawker's green. This is dry already, so I can come close. And brown. Keep moving. And brown. For me, the most important part in this part is to have different type of lips. Even if I am using the same colors, the combination. So this time we're going to use the brown. As the stamp. Okay, let's keep moving. Now here I'm going to start with the light blue. My brush has a little bit of the green, so it's light blue with green. Then I'm going to grab a little more of Hawker's green. It was too much. A little bit. And the stamp. I clean my brush because I want this to be like more like blended. Okay, so clean my brush. And here we have purple. Let's add this purple. So this is the way. First use your light purple. And it's like a we're stamping. You can leave some areas with no color. And then grab a little bit of the blue. And do some touches of blue here and there. And then darker purple. Some touches of darker purple. And leave it alone. We're going to make some in this part. But this part are going to be like circles. And remember to leave some areas with white. And if you try, don't touch the circles. It can be berries. Here we have the stem, so and as soon as this is dry, we can come back and add more, okay? So darker purple, and just touch some of these areas. So let's keep moving with more leaves. Light Hawker's green. And here I need to be careful, do not touch the purple. And some brown. I'm going to add the stem. Clean my brush. I'm doing some touches like this. Clean the brush, like Hawker's green, because I want to add another leaf here. Okay, so with the yellow maples that we have here, I'm going to paint the base of the stem of the pumpkin. Use the tip of your bristles. Then I'm going to change my brush. Let me do this one. Yes, the number 6. The bottom. You want to have darker color. Let's see, this is wet. This with a tip. Okay, so here we have another leaf. Again, light Hawker's green. And brown. And with my thin brush, this stem is going to be in the front. This is still wet, so it's good because we can mix the color. Okay, so I'm going to dry it, and we're going to keep adding more leaves. Here I put so close my hair dryer, that way it get round, so we're going to leave it alone, and I'm going to come back later to correct these lines. So what we're going to do is to keep adding little leaves. So with my small brush, I'm going to start just adding tiny leaves like this to make the design. All the white lines of the design, you want to fill it with leaves. And you can even mix, remember, blues and brown. And here, as we have brown, I'm going to be using the blue. Or even this orange. Here we need to have the fifth. And then my Hawker screen, I'm going to be connecting. And I like how the explosion of the color. So let's keep moving. Here we need to add here and more here. Let's add here. Tiny leaves. And it can be different shapes. All depends the space that you have. See? I'm going to mix it with the blue this time, with the cerulean blue. Just be careful that we don't mess with the painting that are the wet areas, you know? Hawker screen. I'm going to add blue. And this thing with the Hawker screen again. And connecting the leaves. Let's keep moving. We can add with our brown some lines here. And if we need more color, grab a little bit of your purple and mix it with your brown to make this dark color. Okay, let's keep adding more little tiny leaves here and there. And the Hawker's green, sorry, the dark brown again. And the stamp. Zip. So I'm going to add some of the lines into the big leaves. So for that we're going to be using the brown, but very soft, light brown. Add water. And some of the veins. Better if this color is super light. I'm adding water because I want to have a base, very light lines. This is a darker green, so I'm going to add a little more of the brown. Just with the tip of the bristles. Okay, so let's check. These are still wet. Let's see if we can correct this one. Okay, I'm going to wait this to get dry. Here, I'm going to mix the purple with the brown. And those are my dogs, Lola and Canela. So I'm going to add some dots with this color here and revisit this dark part. Okay, here to clean my brush, grab a straight like purple, dark purple, and I'm adding some dots as well. Here we can even define more with your darker brown, darker like purple, some of the movement of these flowers, the petals. as well here. Okay. So I'm going to dry this part just to add the white lines, okay? So be sure that your brush is super clean. I'm going to add some of the white. And then we're going to come back and correct some areas of the blue, like here and here, okay? So I'm going to add a little bit of water to my wash. Because I want to add some lines into the stem of the pumpkin. And some dots here in the top of the brown. And if you miss some lines, now is a good time to add some lines into the petals. This white is going to dry opaque, so not going to be super obvious. You will see. Okay, just have fun. Follow your instinct. So now I'm going to change with my number 6. I'm going to clean it and grab a little bit of the blue. Just want to be sure that it doesn't have green, because I want to correct this line here. And this line here, to avoid broccoli's effect. You need to paint the complete area. Okay, so I'm going to add water into my purple to have a very light purple, and I'm going to add some lines in this petal like this. So in this point we need to revisit if we need to add more lines into the leaves, or we need to add more leaves. Okay, so when you feel like this is ready, you can even go back and add some different sizes of circles all around with the light ochre green. This can be like the splashes, but as I don't want to mix the green with the other colors, it's better just to do it like this. But different sizes of the drops looks much better than the same side. And by doing this, you are like covering the white spaces. Need to be light green because by the time it gets dry, it's going to be a soft background. I don't want these dots to compete with the rest of the painting. And you can add green or you can add the blue, the light blue. Okay, almost done. I hope you enjoy it, and if you like this video, please make a comment and like it. That will be super helpful for this channel. And if you didn't subscribe yet to my channel, if you want to subscribe, that will be awesome. And don't forget to press the little button of the bell, because like that YouTube is going to be sending you an email telling you that I upload a new video. If you have something that you want me to paint, leave a comment and I will make it possible for you. Okay, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate all of you, your time invested with me, and please share this video with your girlfriends that like to paint simple watercolor paintings. Have a good one and see you next time. See you guys. Bye.